We are very happy to have with us here today Bracha Zanbar, an allergy specialist who not only spends her time keeping up to date with the latest allergy information, changes in policies, and factory updates to changes in the manufacture of food products, but who travels the country lecturing hotels and restaurants about proper allergy care and services. So Bracha, hi. Thank you for coming, for taking your time to be with us today.
It's great to be here.
So Bracha, we're talking today about the importance of schools educating their student body and medical staff about allergies. But before we get there, I want to ask you a few questions. So you've had a lot of experience providing training to institutions, hotels, and so on regarding allergies. What are some of the topics you cover when you teach them?
So one of the topics we cover, people sometimes don't even know what an allergen is. I mean, also from, even just from the biological part of what an allergen is, what the top allergens are, and then so usually we usually talk about that, and then we speak about cross-contamination, hidden allergens, what can have an allergen you wouldn't even think of, such as spices can be an issue. People don't even think a spice can be an issue. So we explain cross-contamination, we discuss complicated areas in the kitchen, because usually we speak in hotels, and then which utensils in the kitchen are more complicated to sanitize, that kind of stuff. And then we always speak about the service to the allergic community. We find that sometimes people don't know how to speak, the staff don't always know how to speak to the clients, the allergy community clients. They don't know how to communicate about the allergies, even what to ask, or how to be even sensitive on the service level. So we speak about that.
Okay, great. Which issues do you find people have the hardest time understanding or believing about allergies?
So sometimes we have people who don't believe in allergies at all, and then it's just you have to explain everything.
People don't believe in allergies?
We had a school that someone wanted to put their kid in a school, and they asked us to speak to the school, and we called and we were speaking, and he said, "I don't believe in food allergies." So we've had that.
What do you do?
It depends how much they want to work with us, because sometimes someone doesn't believe in food allergies, but he is interested of hearing, and then you can convince, and then you can explain, and then you can even give examples of situations that we've had and tell stories, and then sometimes it will change, and sometimes it will be, okay, I can hear you, I'll take it serious because I don't want to have an issue here, but me and inside myself, I don't believe. But sometimes someone will say, I don't know enough about, explain to me, and then it's not even convincing, but it's just making sure there is an awareness. What else do we speak about? So one of the other things that I find most hard, like people find it hard to understand, is cross-contamination. People can't imagine that something that touched something else can be dangerous for someone. People can understand the concept of, if you eat peanuts, you'll have a reaction. If you eat bamba, you have a reaction. People can even understand the concept of, if I smell bamba, or if there's a milk in the room, there can have a reaction can happen. What they can't understand is, like, if I ate peanuts and I went to the park, and then I touched the swing, and why would a mother come and wash down the swing with wipes? People don't understand that. Or in the kitchen, like, okay, so there's no peanuts in the salad. Why do I need to change the cutting board? The cutting board is clean. Sometimes they think that if they wash something down with water, it's enough, and they don't really understand that there's something that's around. There's an allergen that's around, but we can't really see it.
Because I guess if people can't see something, they have a harder time believing that it could be a problem.
Exactly. So, like sesame oil, you can't see it. If someone rubs their sesame on their hands, they wouldn't, and then wash their hands off. It's oil. Their hands are all contaminated with oil. Whatever they touch now is going to be dangerous for anyone with a sesame allergy.
Right.
People don't understand, because they would say, look, this is clean. My hands are clean. They're not clean. For us, for the allergy community, it's not clean. It's not good enough for me. might be clean to your eye, but it's not allergy free. It's not safe.
Right.
So I would
Interesting.
say cross-contamination is the biggest issue to explain.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so now turning our attention to school education, at what age do you think allergy education should be given in the school environment?
Probably from the age that kids can speak, or from preschool. I would say if my child goes to school or to preschool or kindergarten and has a child in class with her, she should know what to do. She should know that when a friend comes to her house, there are certain things we can offer, we can't offer. She needs to be aware enough so she can be a good friend.
So even like a 3-year-old in preschool, you
I
would say to have a
I would say
curriculum.
3-year-olds need to understand, look, we do explain to 3-year-olds, you're not allowed to have candy because it's not good for your teeth.
Right.
So why can't we explain to a 3-year-old, your friend or you can't have a dairy bar of chocolate because it's dangerous for your body? Like, it's very legit and it's very okay to explain that sugar's not good for your body, but why can't we discuss, or why isn't it in our awareness that dairy or eggs or sesame can be like dangerous? It's just, this isn't good for your teeth and this isn't good for your friend's body. It makes sense.
And then it becomes normal.
And then it's just normal. It's like, and look, sugar, we're discussing it. Sugar is normal. It's very normal to say, does your mommy let you have a candy? When a kid comes over to my house for a play date and I want to give them a candy, does your mommy let you?
Right.
But why isn't it normal to say, do you have allergies? What are your food allergies?
Right.
It should be normal. It's
Right.
it's very, everyone knows that there are problems with teeth. Everyone knows that I don't know, there are so many things that kids are not allowed to have for different reasons.
Right.
So a food allergy should be very basic. It should just be very normal.
Very normal.
And I think that if you speak with kids when they're young, it's normal. If you come to a kid when they're 14 or even 12 and say, oh, hey, you see this kid? He's not allowed to have that. He's different. That
makes him different.
Makes him different.
Right.
It's not normal.
Right.
But food allergy kids, they only have a food allergy. They should be able to be treated normal.
Right.
They should be able to feel safe. And it's not very hard to make them feel safe if there is an awareness. It's scary when there isn't an awareness, because then they really need to keep their eyes open all the time. But if we all put together, like if everyone's aware, and all the parents in class are aware, and the kids are aware, there's like an environment of awareness, it's not very scary. Then it's fine. They need to know how to speak about it, how to manage it, what they can eat, what they can't eat. But it's not as scary as going into a school every day not knowing, or actually knowing that no one knows anything about your allergies and you're alone with this.
Right.
If everyone just pull together to deal with it, it's much more easier for everyone, for the kid himself, but also for the parents, for his friends, even for the parents' support groups, because every parent has their own support team. Like my mum had her sister. It just makes it easier for everyone if everyone has awareness.
Right. Okay. Why do you think that the school should be responsible to provide allergy education to the students?
So as I said, safety is a first priority for everything, and especially food allergies. And it's exactly like the school should be responsible to provide a safe environment for a child. No one's going to put in the middle of a schoolyard, no one's going to put a pile of wood. Because it's dangerous. The kids are going to play, they're going to fall over, they might break a leg, even just hurt themselves. It's very obvious, no one's going to do that. It's dangerous. So why is it just not obvious that for safety reasons they should not have allergens in the school? Or they have to educate that it's dangerous. It should be, in order to make sure there's a safe environment for food allergy children, school needs to make sure that everyone is aware. They need to educate, and that's the only way they can keep the kids safe.
Well, it makes sense. I'm saying one of the primary goals of a school is to create a safe and nurturing environment. And if this has to be through allergy education, then it would make sense that it would be
Exactly.
the
So
school's
I feel that
responsibility.
allergy education through the schools would make the whole environment safer.
Right.
Also, I think that if teachers would speak about it more, I feel that when I talk about food allergies and I educate food allergies, my awareness grows. Even though I know everything about food allergies, I work in food allergies, I live food allergies, every time I speak about it more and more and more and more, I am more aware. And I feel that teachers, that they're like the adults, they should be the ones that are providing the safety, and they should be discussing it as well. Also to the kids, also between themselves. Schools should be safe places. Schools should be a safe place, but also for the food allergy kids, like for everyone else.
Right. Oh, excellent. Do you think allergy education should be mandatory for all schools, or just those who have students with severe allergies?
So first of all, the answer is yes. Allergy education should be mandatory for all schools.
Right. Why do you think that?
I think we need, first of all, there's no guarantee that tomorrow there's not going to be an allergic child in my kid's class.
Right.
So we're going to say, okay, so she is 3, but there's no one in her class that's allergic, so she doesn't need to be educated. When she'll be 5, she'll go into school, and there's going to be she'll know nothing about allergies, and tomorrow she's going to have a new friend with food allergies. What's she going to do then? Starting with that. Also, if we want to arise the awareness of food allergies, we need to make sure that everyone knows about it from a very young age, that it's very normal. And the only way to make it normal is if it's mandatory for everyone, including the kids that aren't exposed today to food allergies.
Right.
I don't need to wait for my child to be exposed to food allergies to teach her how to manage it and how to be a good friend. She should know it from a very young age. And the only place that they can actually get proper education for food allergies is through the schools.
Right.
So we can discuss it at home, but I feel that the school should be the main place to discuss it.
Right. What topics are important to cover under school allergy education? What are some of the topics that you would say, when you teach allergy education in schools, this is what you have to include?
I think it depends on the age. It has to be age appropriate.
Okay.
But kids need to know what an allergen is, that it means that there are certain foods, that for each kid, that any food can be an allergen, that there are certain foods that can be so dangerous to some person that it can do very bad for them. At a certain age, they should also know that it can actually, what if, they should know what can happen. I don't think the 3-year-old needs to know what can happen after the reaction, or what is a reaction, or how a reaction looks. But every age have their own education. But I do think kids need to know what an allergen is, how it looks like, what can happen to some kind of level. Maybe they should also know a bit about cross-contamination, like how important it is to wash your hands, to keep yourself clean, soap.
Right. Well, if students will know that it's a dangerous thing, then there would be less bullying, because
I agree.
Because then kids will say they're not doing this for attention, they're doing this because their life.
Exactly. So again, if they would know from a young age,
right,
that food allergies is normal, if we would normalize food allergies, it wouldn't be, oh my gosh, this kid has food allergies and he has to sit aside, but he has food allergies, so that therefore the whole table should be, egg free. No one should be bringing stuff with eggs, spreads with sesame. And the table in class is actually the allergy-free table, or allergy-free class. So it's normal. So everyone is eating safe food. So this kid doesn't need to be different. And yes, if a kid is different, there shouldn't be bullying. People bully because they're scared of, or they don't know how to deal with someone different. But if food allergies was normal, so why would these kids be bullied?
Right. No, exactly. What advice would you give to the children with allergies about navigating their condition in the school environment?
So first of all, kids need to know they need to be aware of their own allergies. They need to know what they can eat, what they can't eat. They need to know how to ask. If a teacher gives someone a chocolate, they need to say, wait, is this a dairy chocolate?
To ask the teacher, is
it
safe
for me? Exactly. They need to know how to speak up for themselves. They need to ask questions. They need to know what questions to ask. They need to know the symptoms. They need to know, I would encourage the parents to teach the kids what the symptoms are. So if a kid thinks he's fine, but then his throat is itching, so when to go to an adult, when to run to the teacher and say something's happening. Kids kids need to be aware. They need to manage their allergies. Not at every age you can manage it 100%, but you need to be aware.
Their own advocate, I guess.
Exactly. They also need to know how to, I would recommend knowing how to speak their story, as in telling what's wrong with them, what's dangerous for them, and actually so they can also raise their awareness by talking about it.
You mean to their friends?
To their friends, to their schoolmates.
Right, to explain
Exactly.
and create an understanding between them.
Exactly.
I hear. Wow. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we end off?
Only we can see an we can see an arising in the awareness. Arising?
A raise.
A raise. We can see an raise in the awareness of food allergies, and we can feel a change in the air. We're just very happy to be part of that change. That's it.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much for taking your time. It's been really nice to talk to you today.
It was great being here.
Have a great day.